What are the best weeks to go to Walt Disney World this year in 2018? What are my top 5 weeks to visit Walt Disney World in 2018? Um, every year I put out a page that has my top 5 weeks to visit. Usually I do it in about February or I'm sorry, in about April for the next year. So I've had this page out for a while that talks about the top 5 weeks to visit Walt Disney World. I just thought we'd chat about it since it's the new year and talk about what the top 5 weeks are in 2018. Uh, for years, I chose the week after Thanksgiving as my number one week. In fact, up until last year, 2017, was the first year I didn't do that. And again in 2018, I'm not picking the week after Thanksgiving. I'm still kind of unsure about that week. I think it's a pretty good week, but it starts off with such big crowds that I'm kind of backing away from that week. The first couple of days of that week, the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and a little bit into Tuesday, the crowds are just really, really high. They go down midweek, but the weekends are busy, just like all the weekends in the December timeframe. They're always busy, but I have backed away from that first week of December being my favorite week to visit Disney World during the year. But I want to pull a Christmas week. I love Christmas at Disney World, so there's got to be a Christmas week or two on my list of the 5 best weeks to visit Walt Disney World. So my first best week to visit Walt Disney World in 2018 is December 9th through 15th. Christmas at Disney World. It just doesn't get any better than that. I love Christmas time at Disney World. I go every year during the Christmas season. I have been for probably the last 6 years during Christmas. I just love it. I typically, for 3 of the last 4 years, have gone during this week, December 9th through 15th. We throw a party. But it's the week I go. So I've made it the number one week. It is not the least busy week during the Christmas season, but it's just kind of my favorite week. Don't know why. You could pick, well, I don't like that first week after Thanksgiving. The next week is typically the Pop Warner Championships. I stay away from that week if for no other reason. There aren't any discounts. And the week after that, second or third week in December, starts to get towards Christmas. You know, when you're talking about the 23rd of December, you're starting to see the big Christmas push. So I think that week or the next week, those 2 weeks right in there are probably the best time to visit Walt Disney World, in my opinion. All right, so that's the first best week. All right, excuse me again. I'm back. All right, the second week of the year, February 4th through 10th. That time between Martin Luther King's birthday and President's Day. That period right in there. That is a great time to go to Walt Disney World. February 4th through 10th, the the new Festival of the Arts will be going on. It's just a nice time. The weather is typically pretty good. It can get cold, but it doesn't get real cold, and it's not hot. You're not going to see the 90s that you'll see later in the spring. So it's a really nice time of year. Crowds are low. It's not the lowest crowd time, but it's really nice crowds. So now that they have the Festival of the Arts over in Epcot, in fact, I'm going to see that here in a couple weeks. It's a really good time of year to visit. So that's my number 2, February 4th through 10th. Number 3, November 11th through 17th. Another Christmas week. Here we go. I love Christmas time. But this week, I really like because it's still during the Food and Wine Festival. You've still got the Food and Wine Festival. You've got both Food and Wine Festival, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. You've got both events going on at that time. So it is really a good week. Now, the first part of the weekend, the weekend part of the week will be busy because it is a holiday. The 11th is Veterans Day. It's always the 11th, Veterans Day. So you'll have Veterans Day crowds there for the first few days, and then they'll go away. So midweek, there won't be anybody into. Even the weekends are kind of slow during that time. So that's number 3, November 11th through 17th. Number 4, gotta have some September. September is the slowest month of the year crowd-wise. So you gotta have a week in September. September 9th through 15th, but really all of September, is a great time to go. Low crowds. You have Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. You've got the Food and Wine Festival. It just doesn't get much better than that. A little hot, but overall, it's a great time to go. We got a question about September coming up here in a few minutes, so we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And the last week, my 5th of the 5 weeks, excuse me. I haven't done this in a while, so my voice is giving out already. May 13th through 19th. Again, May is just kind of like September. Crowds are light. February, May, September. Crowds are light. And May can be just awesome weather-wise. Now, last May was really hot, but typically May is just about the perfect weather. Highs in the 80s, low to mid 80s, lows in the 60s. I mean, it's just beautiful. Plus, you have the Flower and Garden Festival. You have those beautiful plants. Epcot just looks incredible. Food, music, flowers and garden festival. It's just a really good time. I really, really like that May time frame for visiting Disney World. I'm going to be there the first week of May. I'm going to be there a week before that this year. But that's the 5 weeks that I think are the best weeks to visit Walt Disney World. The December 9th through 15th, February 4th through 10th, November 11th through 17th, September 9th through 15th, May 13th through 19th. So what do you think? What is your favorite time to visit Walt Disney World? Put it down in the comments, and we'll talk about it here in a minute.
Thanks so much for watching Dad's video. For more simple, fun, magic Walt Disney World information, go to Dad's Guide to WDW.com. You can do that by clicking the I button that's popping up on the screen right now. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and get more Dad's YouTube videos with Daditude.